Hello, everybody, and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom, baby.
And this is show number 43.
Let's go, Clark. Big show coming up. 11-0, man. Unblemished to the SEC season for a second straight year, man. Exciting times. And, hey, each episode is getting bigger. It is getting bigger, folks. We're coming down the track, man. Postseason play is upon us. But, hey, we got one more thing. One more crossroads real quick, and that's Georgia Tech.
The Nerds.
The Nerds. You beat Tech, baby. 12-0 again for the second straight year, man. You got to pinch yourself living in a fantasy, and then it's on to the SEC championship and beyond. Couldn't be more excited, Clark. I hope everybody out there listening to this is on the same page as me, has the same enthusiasm as me, Clark, and it's just hype, man. Just enjoying life and excited to watch the Dawgs over the next month, man, because there's going to be some exciting times ahead, Clark, and we got a lot we got to get to, a lot we got to cover from last week, man, and to get fired up about what's coming. What's coming, Clark?
Yeah.
You know, because you know what's coming?
What's that?
4 more games, baby.
That's
4
right.
more W's and you repeat as national champions, man.
You know,
4 more, Clark. 4 more.
You know who doesn't have 4 more games on their schedule?
Who's that?
Tennessee.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Also Georgia Tech and a lot
you
of
know
other
what?
teams out
You
there.
know what
Auburn?
with Tennessee?
What?
You can't spell citrus without you too.
That's true.
The Citrus Bowl in Orlando
That's
is
a good
calling
point.
the University of Tennessee's name, man. It just couldn't get any better for Georgia fans. What is happening around the landscape of college football, how things are setting up, man. It's an exciting time. I say it every week, but you got to hammer home the point, Clark, that everybody needs to enjoy what is going on and don't take it for granted, man, because this won't last forever, but hey, it looks like it's going to if you just look at the current roster and everything going forward. But enjoy the moment right now, man. Enjoy it with your family, friends, and loved ones. Talk about it over the holidays this week, man, when you're visiting family, and get excited about it because it don't get better than this as a Georgia football fan. Anyway, let's roll.
This
Clark.
really is the best time of the year. You got Thanksgiving,
Yes, sir.
you got Christmas on the horizon, and then most importantly, not most importantly, I shouldn't say that, but importantly, equally as important maybe, is the postseason.
The postseason.
You got to love it. It's
the
good
postseason
times we're living in.
Yeah.
So we had a great weekend up in Kentucky.
Yeah.
We also, we spent most of our time in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, we did. Salt of the earth, folks, there in Pigeon Forge. I love Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It is my vacation destination that I like to go to, Clark. And especially at Christmas time, man, you get the lights out there. There's just a chill in there that just bites you, and I love it. That gets me fired up, man, that kind of chill. And you're going up to a cabin, and you go over there, and you ride the strip of Pigeon Forge, man. A lot of attractions to just see and do, and a lot of good eating there, and it's just a good time, and I enjoy it, and I savor it every time I get to go up there, Clark.
Yeah, absolutely, as you should.
Well, we've kind of made it an annual tradition to go to Pigeon Forge this time of year because, hey, you know what? Because of how Georgia's schedule works, you play Tennessee away one year, and then the next year when you're playing Tennessee at home, you have Kentucky on the road.
Right.
So you can piggyback a Pigeon Forge trip with Tennessee and Knoxville one year, and then Kentucky and Lexington the next year. So therefore, it is an annual trip up there for us, and something we've done for many years.
It's a great halfway point in between Lexington and home. So if you're in the Northeast Georgia area, highly encourage you to go up there next year for the Tennessee game. We need all the red and black. But we're going to talk about that game next year. Let's focus on this year. Let's focus on Kentucky. Hey, shout out to Will Bartlett.
Yes, sir.
We got to see him at the KS Bar. It's Kentucky Sports Radio's bar. They have a big following of people. Adam, that's kind of the goal one day.
Yeah, man.
We're going to have a sports bar in downtown Athens. We're going to do a pregame show.
Yes.
On the radio.
Everything, man. You know, their sports bar and grill there that they have is a nice little setup, tables all around. The food, everything, the banner, everything was just great what they had there. And Will Bartlett, good old Franklin County boy, a friend of ours, friend of the show, Clark. Good catching up with him. It's been a while, man. Just to see the atmosphere up there. Very cold up there, Clark. Very cold, man. You had to bundle up, but that was nice to see kind of the atmosphere. Talk to some Kentucky fans there, and talk to some fellow Georgia fans as well. A lot of TVs around, watch what was going on. Wild day of college football from the start to the end, man. And it was fun to be a part of. To be a part of. So that was a good way to get the day cranked up, per se, Clark. Sure. You know, it's some good friendly conversation and fellowship with some fellow college football fans.
Will, shout out to him too. He was sporting one of our Row 60 hats.
Yes, sir.
And,
yes, sir.
Hey, speaking of hats, speaking of merch, we get a lot of questions about when are we going to get some more shirts, when are we going to get some more hats. So that stuff is coming. You got to be patient with us. Well, this is not our full-time job.
We have talked to our design team.
Oh, we have a design team.
We have talked to the design team.
And who is on the design team?
Me, you, and our wives.
Yes, and our mothers. They pitch in some ideas. And our dads too.
Friends and family, and just some people around the community. And we've talked to our design team, and I think they're pumping out something that we could see on the horizon that people will like. We will see. But in the meantime, if you want to support us, go to row60.com, man. Check out our hats, 2-color hats there, stickers, and a shirt that we released last year, and we'll get some new stuff up. But in the meantime, Christmas gifts coming, a little stocking stuffer. Clark, a little stocking stuffer. Yeah, and to get excited about the postseason, go get you some Row 60 apparel, man, and we'll get it shipped out to you. Row60.com. You can spell it out or put the numerical preference, if that's your preference, on the .com, on the domain origin.
You actually
right?
Right?
Am I right on that, Clark, or did I get a little cocky?
Well, hold up. You can, because I did think of that. I knew people would search in Row and then the number 60. So what I did was I bought 2 domains. And they both send you to the same site. One. So there you go. You can spell it out, or you can
love
60.
So love it.
Whatever.
Love it. So anyway, go check that out, man. We hope you enjoy that website. There's other things in there besides merch. Something we really haven't promoted that we have, but it is there. So go do it, baby. Go check it out.
We do have a couple orders pending too. We got to ship those out this week. Those are coming if you're listening.
Okay, well, we need to get with the shipping and handling team. I don't know, has that been relayed to the shipping and handling team?
Not yet.
All right, well, we need to get to that. We need to let the team know about that. But anywho, all right.
Yeah, Adam, it was freezing up there in Kentucky. I mean, I was shivering. It was probably worse than Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I'd say Starkville. I mean, it was freezing up in Kentucky. We bundled up, had a bunch of layers. And Adam, you know what? I had some people making fun of my red Georgia football hoodie. It's just the Power G. It looks like I have a backpack on.
Make fun of that
yes, it is from 2010, people. But you know what? I love it. It keeps me warm. And don't hate on it. Is all I wanted to say.
Well, it doesn't keep you warm. Does it keep you warm?
Oh, it keeps me.
All right, because it looks like, I mean, and I'll be honest, my wife said, you wait, Clark's going to have on that same red sweatshirt.
That's right.
And he did. Yes. And he did have that sweatshirt on.
Travels,
so,
baby.
you know, man, I mean, it was the coldest game I have ever attended from sitting in an outside venue. I feel like, I mean, the national championship was the coldest I've been at a game, but that was only for a small, substantial amount of time from walking from point A to point B from the Mall of Indianapolis to inside Lucas Oil Stadium. But actually sitting in the stands, it was freezing, man. I had 2 pairs of socks on and my feet were cold. And I had like 6 layers on, long johns on, everything. But hey, it was a good time, man. It was fun. I always enjoy going to Kroger Field and interacting with the Kentucky faithful there, seeing Georgia play there. It's always a close game for whatever reason against Kentucky up there. The last time I remember it being, you know, one of these games that, 18, I think Georgia won by about 17 points. And then 14 was the absolute just beat down when Mark Stoops was trying to build that program up. But it's always a tough out. It's always a tough out up there, Clark. So it was a very interesting environment and a crowd that was excited to be there, even in the cold.
Yeah.
Even in the cold.
I tell you, one of the funniest things, Adam, that we did was we took the towels. You know, the Kentucky fans got the towels going and everything, kind of similar to what South Carolina fans do.
Yeah.
And we decided to sit on them because it did keep our butts warm.
It was a good what would you call it, Clark? Absorbent of the cold. A little bit, in the sense of it absorbed.
I guess.
Kind of exactly. So that's kind of how I would phrase of what that towel did.
Sure.
When you are on a metal bleacher like that, everybody has been in those situations before at high school games, what have you not.
Yeah.
It's a little bit chilly, you know, that metal, it gets a little frigid, gets cold.
Right.
So being able to put that padding in between you kind of helps with that initial shock of sitting on a frigid surface like that.
It does shock you when you sit down.
Right. So that's kind of what we what happened there, man. So
the good news is, Adam, I don't think we will be experiencing really cold weather this week in Sanford. The rest of the games, it's going to either be indoors,
controlled climates,
or very nice weather out in Cali.
That's a controlled climate
championship. I mean,
I think that's a weird looking. We'll get to that spaceship of a stadium.
Yeah. Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's exactly right. Made a lot of concession stand runs, Clark.
Oh, all right. Adam, give us that weekly concession stands report.
Hit it, baby. All right, concession stands report, Clark. This is the first time that I have really had a multiple stint of concession stand visits. Okay.
You went multiple times.
I went multiple times
Wow.
to said concession stand, man. Started off the game with a strong Coca-Cola and hot dog. Nice. I hadn't had a hot dog in a while. I said, hey, man, I'm going to grab me a hot dog then.
Yep.
So I got the hot dog. The hot dog was good in Kentucky, Clark.
Okay.
I will say, last year we really did a full-on review of every single stadium we attended. Of the hot dog was the primary item to review, Clark. So Kentucky and Kroger Field was not on that list last year when we started this podcast. So, hey, let's bring them in this year and see what we got. It was a great hot dog, Clark. Good. I would give it a B+. I really would. I mean, I would honestly feel like, and you get it at the key part of the game.
Sure.
It doesn't matter where you go. You get a pregame hot dog, man. The pregame hot dog is going to be good. It's going to be prepared well. The bun had a nice toast to it, good crunch to it, and I like that, man. So it was a good dog. The Coca-Cola in that type of environment, the ice stayed intact. It didn't melt.
Good.
It didn't melt. So
it was
exactly. So it was a good strong Coke. Good strong Coke, man. So
nice. What else did
first
you
visit was good. Then I went back and got a coffee. I got a brew. We got a hot brew, man, and the coffee was good. I would say that during these frigid times and these temperatures, man, there probably needs to be an offering of a thermal layered cup, Clark.
Yes.
That could absorb the hot chocolate and the coffee carnivores. Absorb.
Insulate. That's the word. There you go. Yeah,
Insulated to last, where you feel like when you're buying these $5 coffees or these $5 hot chocolates, that they're not cold in 70 seconds.
Yes, I agree.
Because, you might wait and then 72 seconds later, it's cold, man. You only got about 2 sips in, Clark. Yeah. So, anywho, that would be my only complaint. Kentucky concession stands did good, didn't do a good job of getting people in and out, but nonetheless, all right, I'll give him a B+ overall.
B+, not bad, Adam. I got a hot chocolate with my wife, Caitlin. It got cold within seconds. So disappointing, but I will say the hot chocolate was good. Then she went back and got a pizza, one of the little personal pizzas.
Yeah.
I tried to bite. I said, oh, wait, I thought this was Papa John's, knowing good and well that Papa John's is a Louisville brand.
Yeah.
A big rival of Kentucky's.
Right.
I said it loud enough that maybe a Kentucky fan would hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little friendly banner.
A little friendly banner. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Never hurt nobody. Never hurt nobody.
I don't think anybody got that joke. But anyway. But hey, it was a great time. After the game, we actually got on TV. Thank you to everyone who notified us.
We did.
That was really cool.
That was awesome, man.
And we got to meet a fellow Row 60 friend of the show, Philip Carroll.
Great meeting Philip and his family, Clark.
Yeah.
Very excited. Awesome that they were there to support the Dawgs, man, in a cold environment like that. So good to see them. I always love meeting our friends of the show like that, Clark, and just good DGDs, just good dog fans, man, and good people. Good people on top of that. So
Salt of the
cannot wait to see them again.
Yeah.
Whenever we can cross paths in, Clark. So overall, as far as the stadium atmosphere was everything, it was good.
I completely agree.
It was a good time.
I completely agree.
Good time. So, hey, and you didn't have a run-in with a fan?
We had 0 run-ins we did kind of have a little bit of an incident after the game walking to the car.
Oh, yeah, we did.
As a college kid, he said
college
something
kid, man,
annoying.
I just, you see these young college boys, and you always can see them. They're the ones that's got the khakis on and tennis shoes, and they will yell an explicit about Georgia, and this particular young man yelled explicit about Georgia, and we just said, yeah, man, we're terrible. We're awful.
Yes.
Only undefeated defending national champions, and we really had nothing to say about it. And
just
kept walking. I mean,
overall, man, the Kentucky faithful, there were some really good fans. And
there was one guy in particular, man, he had a camouflage boonie hat on, and he was really getting jacked up, and he it was when, they were threatening coming down the field a little bit.
Yeah,
I think Will Levis overshot a receiver, and he looked at me, he went, oh, this close. And I went, yeah, man, this close. close, buddy. You know, and I had a calmness about me. I really wasn't just freaking out completely yet. I was like, I still didn't ever think Georgia was going to lose a football game. And then, you know, and I said that, and he came over and he gave me like a 5, and I gave him a good little back, you know, friendly pat. You know, I respected his passion, man. I mean, seeing them having a little hope right there, thinking that they were going to come back. I mean, it's good to see. Good to see that people. I want all God's children to absolutely love and get passionate about their college football team.
That same guy was complaining that all the Kentucky fans were piling out of the stadium.
He was livid about it.
Yeah, I mean, they were only down 10 points in the fourth quarter to the number one team in the nation, and the stadium was half empty.
Yeah, but they knew what we knew, that it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. But anyway, great experience, man. Brave the cold, good times. All right,
let's talk some ball.
Now we got to talk about what happened between the painted white lines, Clark.
Yep. Well, before we really break down the offense and defense, performances, let's do a couple of fun facts here.
Give us a fun fact, Carl. Give us a fun fact.
All right, 45. Listen to this. Our seniors, the ones who are graduating this year.
Okay,
45-5 in the past 50 games.
Yeah, Clark,
insane.
We talked about it with Tech being senior day. This podcast, the game following this release, this episode is the last time these seniors will be playing the Sanford Stadium. We're counting the ones that started their careers at Georgia at the beginning of the 2019 season. Clark went through the COVID year, and we were like, hey, man, let's just count their wins and how many games they lost. And what we came up with, that they lost 2 games in 2019 to South Carolina and LSU, 2 in 2020 to Alabama and Florida, and then 1 last year in the SEC Championship to Alabama. And those are the only blemishes in their career at Georgia. So that amounts to a 45-5 record to this point because of the playing 15 games one year, 10 games one year. You know, it's got have only played 50 games for the University of Georgia since they began their careers in 2019, and 45-5, man, a stellar group that has been pivotal in building the foundation.
Oh, boy, I might be wrong with my math here, but I think that's 90%. Is that right? 90%? 45?
That's pretty dang close.
Yeah,
I like it. That sounds good. And we're going to run with it.
Winning percentage. You're batting 900. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, exciting. That's awesome.
So let's read out the seniors, and we're going to do this quick. We're just going to read out the names of the people that will be toting a football and running midfield.
So we're not going to name where they're from, what their life plans are after football, where they went to high school, their mother's names, their grandmother's maiden name. Okay, we don't want to. Okay,
dreams and aspirations.
I understand. Okay, all right. Just give them a good and quick honor, then we'll do it.
They'll have that moment in Sanford this Saturday. All right, here we go. Seniors this year: Nolan Smith, Kenny McIntosh, Kieris Jackson. He's been there forever. Stetson Bennett, who has also been there forever. Christopher Smith. Robert Bill, Randon Jernigan, Davis Day.
Great name. Davis Day's a good name, too.
George Vining, Payne Walker, Warren Erickson, Trammell Walthour, Jack Podlesny.
Wow, good guys, man. That's a great name of some DGDs, guys who have done a lot for this program and contributed a lot to get where this program is, Clark. And it's exciting to see, man. We have to give them a shout out, pat on the back for that. But a lot of talent right there. A lot of guys who've done a lot for the University of Georgia. Cannot wait to honor them on Saturday, Clark.
Several of those guys, I would imagine, are going to be making some money on Sundays, and the others, man, they're going to have some great.
Their national
careers.
Champions are going to be successful in whatever they do in life. God bless them. Yes, sir. Love that.
DGDs for sure.
Love that.
Dawgs are, listen to this, one of 3 SEC programs to go 8-0 in the SEC in back-to-back years.
Awesome.
The only other 2 teams or programs to have done that, 95 and 96 Florida, and 08 and 09 Bama teams.
Yeah. So Spurrier in his heyday and Saban at the beginning of his run at Bama, and I would say, kind of his prime year. So awesome to be in good company right there with some historical football teams. Clark, I will add another fact to that.
Okay.
That Florida and Alabama, both those 2 years, won one out of the 2 seasons they won a national championship. The other they did not. So Florida, I know they got smoked by Nebraska in 95 in the national championship out in Arizona, I believe. Yeah. And then they won 96. Alabama in 08 did not win it, but in 09 they did win it. So Georgia, hey, let's go be the first ones to win 2 national championships while doing that too.
Well, I saw a Florida fan on Facebook comment on this. It was posted by SEC Network, and he said, well, Florida's the only team to have won back-to-back SEC championships in those 2 years. Well,
yeah. Well, Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
You
Whatever.
want a cookie?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Anyway.
So, anywho.
All
Let
right.
them have it. They just got beat by Vanderbilt, so forget them. Let them have something they ain't there.
Oh, boy. Good gracious. All right, Georgia's offense versus Kentucky. Let's talk about the offensive performance.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about this game.
I'll just start and say this.
Let's do it. Let's break it down. Let's say just one thing, Clark. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
let's all keep let's all be, have an overall perspective, all right? Let's talk about, with just an overall, take everything into equation, man. Just have a grand look at just everything over what this game was before we jump too many conclusions. Everybody listening, I want everybody listening to promise that.
Yeah.
And
get your listening ears
Carl,
on,
you
folks.
and I are going to promise that with each other.
Exactly. Yes,
So,
we are.
Give it to us, baby.
Look, I'll say this. Georgia, at no point in this game, and I said this to you, and we both agreed, and during the game, I said, Adam, I don't feel like we're going to lose this game. I'm not worried, right?
Right.
Now, there were chances, if things went absolutely sideways, there could have been a possibility where we'd have lost that football game. But at no point did it really, truly feel like Kirby Smart didn't have control over Georgia.
Oh, absolutely, Clark. Absolutely, man. There was no time where I thought that Georgia was going to lose that football game, Clark. And Kentucky, man, I mean, the first half, everything went right for them that they could have ever wanted as far as they were able to control the clock and burn some clock, man, and keep it a very close game and bend but don't break and stop Georgia from, going down and getting 7 and letting them get 3. And, I mean, 6-0, 9-0, that type deal there for a long time. And everything was going Kentucky's way, but Georgia, you still felt, and everybody felt, was in control of the game, even though it felt like Kentucky was the ones who were, controlling the clock, playing the pace of game that they wanted to do. But that just means Georgia was doing a better job, Clark, I feel like, playing better bully ball. And we said before the game, Clark, that whichever team plays the best bully ball is going to win. Kirby Smart and Mark Stoops, two guys who are built on physical philosophies, man. We're going to come out there and out-physical you. And when you play this Kentucky team, man, they're going to be physical. They have in years past. And I didn't personally think this year, up to this point, they have looked as physical as old Mark Stoops' teams have. But they did that. They did that on a very cold and windy afternoon in Lexington, Kentucky. I feel like it was something, Clark, that me and you, I think, too, we were just very cold being there. And we were frustrated looking at it. But at the overall scheme of things, man, very vanilla offense. Wanted to just ground and pound, run the ball. Really wanted to get out. I felt like the main objective was to just get out there with a win. Who cares about style points? Georgia don't need style points, folks. That's the thing that you think these other teams, there's so many out there, the committee's going to look at how bad did they beat somebody else? What's the mutual opponents? This, that. Well, where Kirby Smart's Georgia is and where this program is, Clark, it doesn't matter how Georgia wins a football game. It doesn't matter how impressive offense looks. They're not there for show. They're not there for the glitz and the glamour, Clark, and to put up 60 points or whatever. They're there to win it because it doesn't matter. As long as Georgia wins, they're going to be in, and they're the only team I think that just still plays defense in college football today, Clark. So, it was very interesting in the fact of thinking that, definitely we thought, man, the play calling just, golly, because you felt like Georgia could open it up more, and you felt like they could be ahead more explosive plays and everything, especially when they got in the goal line, Clark. I think that was the most frustrating thing. You have a chance to make it 23-0. You get stopped on 3rd and 1. You get stopped on 4th and 1 again. I think me and you both look, it's like, why is Kenny McIntosh? If you're wanting to do a jumbo package, and this is something, that it's just like when the field, shortens there and everything tightens up and you got a jumbo package, you got your star defensive tackle at fullback, you got 11 guys who are going to be rushing, knowing it's a run in between the tackles, primarily on the A gap. You have 11 guys blocking again, 11 guys rushing and 9 of them blocking because you got the quarterback, of course, handing off the running back. Right. So, and you hadn't been able to do it, but maybe some of that creativity there, and really they've been good in the red zone all year, I feel like, Clark. The stats say that. But yeah, I think it was underwhelming as far as offensive performance, play calling. But if you look at it, it is not going to be anything close to the offense, Stetson Bennett, anybody that you will see on that first Saturday of December against LSU Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Clark.
It's all vanilla, man. I mean, Kirby, and we do this every single year, I feel like. Right. We get to this point in the season, we're past Florida, we're past Tennessee, we're past Kentucky, we got Tech on the schedule, or a cupcake game, and second week out from the SEC championship, and we get vanilla, and it's okay, folks. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people are asking, well, why didn't we throw it? Is it because of the win? No, I mean, We didn't necessarily have to throw it. We ran the ball pretty effectively, I'd say.
Yeah.
And some people will say, well, no, I don't know about. No, we did. I mean, go look at the stats, Adam.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, we had Kenny Mack had a game Saturday. My gosh, he had 19 carries for 143 yards, 7.5 yards a carry.
Wow.
Give me that every single day of the week.
Wow.
I mean, if you're averaging that, come on now.
That's right.
And he had the sole touchdown. Stetson, you know, I don't know. It kind of made some weird decisions, but, you know, overall, 13 for 19, 116 yards, 1 interception, managed the game.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
And that's all you needed to do, Adam. And you're exactly right. Georgia doesn't need style points. That doesn't win you football games. You know, I heard somebody say the other week, when we were playing Tennessee, they said, offense... Right? Offense sells the tickets, and defense wins the game.
You're dang right, baby. You know? That is how it's always going to be, Clark.
Yes.
And never let the media, ESPN personalities, or anybody in college football tell you any different,
right.
man. If you play good, sound, disciplined defense with some guys back there, with some studs back there, you were going to win football games, man. Yeah. And it was the I think Kentucky scored, and this is more on the defensive side when we talk about that, their second fewest points ever scored at Kroger Field in the Mark Stoops era, which is in its 10th year.
Wow.
Hey, you want to know the first fewest points they've scored?
What's that?
Against Georgia in 2020, 3 points. So I mean, it's we had Mark Stoops' number, but as far as the offense goes, Clark, a great job until you got in the red zone down there right at the goal line of really opening up some holes. I felt like against a physical front, man, and getting some hard-earned yards in the ground and doing what you want to do. And you think about it, if you convert those goal line stops that we really just couldn't punch it into 7 instead of 3, look at how impressive the score is right there. But hey, that's all right. It happens. Great on Jack Pod too and we'll get to that in special teams for converting those field goals, man. But I think at the time, of course, you were discouraged about it because I think too, you just think, man, we should line a hat on a hat against Kentucky and just on 4th and 1 and move them, man. Yeah. And move them. You feel like you could, but you're limited in what you could do in a sense. I don't think you could put Stetson Bennett there with a sneak. He's not a Will Levis type physical build who is just going to, but you could have then. I don't know. I think what we were frustrated about on the 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 there on the goal line that can go up 23-0 was more so of the same play both times. You didn't try anything, trying to toss sweep, get to the outside or anything, but it was vanilla is what we wanted to do. And I felt like, too, you should have had Kenny McIntosh, who was just bulldozing people all day and really just getting some good yardage and really getting some positive traction every time he got the football, it felt like. But you had Juwan Edwards on 3rd down, then you put Kendall Milton back there for 4th down. But, hey, it's all right. They win and a hard-fought game in Lexington on a very windy, cold afternoon in Lexington, Kentucky. And it's hard to win on the road in the SEC in November, man.
I don't care who you're playing.
Yes, and especially, Clark, especially with what's coming at you, what you've been told, man, and coming off the 3 games that you have played, Clark, the 3 previous weeks.
And you're getting Kentucky's best shot.
Exactly.
You're going to get Tech's best shot. You're going to get Tennessee's best shot. Anybody's best shot. It's going to be Georgia because we got the number 1 on our chest.
That's
and everybody wants to be Georgia.
That's right, Clark. So, I mean, you have that. You've gone through the motions of being in Jacksonville. Then the big Tennessee game. And then you go to Mississippi State at night, Clark. And then you're another week consecutive going on the road, 3:30 national televised CBS game against Kentucky, who their manhood was just challenged against Vanderbilt. So, of course, they're going to step up the plate and play their best ball against you in a tough environment, man. So when you look at it, and it's hard as spoiled Georgia fans that we are, Clark, that we want to beat every team 45-7.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I honestly thought we would beat that Kentucky team 38-7. That was unrealistic to me because I was going off. I thought Kentucky just kind of folded up. They weren't the same, but you know, you should have looked back and thought, well, yeah, after what happened last week and how Mark Stoops has been traditionally, they're going to play their best and give Georgia their best, and they're going to be physical. And that's what they did, man. And combined with everything, get out there 16-6. No, it's not pretty. We're not going to sit here and say that is it. But championship teams, man, have these games like against Missouri and against Kentucky. And you find ways to win, man. Yeah. And that Kentucky game was never in doubt, Clark. It was never in doubt. You never felt like that they were never within a possession
That's true.
Of driving down the field and being able to tie the game up. That was never the case. And
could have been the case had they converted that 2-point conversion, but they didn't.
Yes, but they didn't do that. You bow up right there, man. So, all of a sudden, I mean, nothing really to compliment it except that, I think outside of the red zone, the offensive line blocked well. We moved the football real well on the ground and, just managed it and did what we had to do, Clark. And I think we know it's just not, it's sitting what's wrong with Ty Monken's play calling or Stacey Searles in the offensive line block. No, it's going to be a completely different thing, I think, in the postseason. I'll go ahead and warn you. I think we will see the same thing against Georgia Tech in Athens next week, but it'll be completely different against LSU and Mercedes-Benz Stadium that first Saturday in December, Clark. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think we're just saving up for the offseason. And
the offseason?
Sorry, not the post. I meant the postseason. Yes, definitely not the offseason. No, yes, good catch there, Adam.
You're saving up for G-Day.
Yeah, save up for G-Day. Yeah, you really you want to win the game in order to not eat the beanie weenies.
That's right. That's when you really open up the playbook, Clark. It was in April.
No, but we're holding out. And look, Kirby is obviously going to tell everybody in the media, no. We're prepping. We're going to use that's not true.
No,
that's not true.
No.
If you've ever been in a coach's room, which I haven't at the D1 level, I have for JV football, baby.
Georgia High School Football Association, Class 3A football. Yes, sir. I love that.
Not just the varsity level, the JV.
Okay,
I really know what I'm talking about.
There you go, Clark.
No, but I mean, we're holding out some stuff. I don't know if that was necessarily the case on Saturday, but I'd venture to say yes. And also, Adam.
Yes, Clark.
It almost makes you wonder this week, did Kirby have a little bit more say-so in the offense?
Oh, yes, I had Kirby Smart written all over.
More so
than
I
had Kirby Smart
in the past.
Well, he pulled back the reins, baby, and that had Kirby Smart's game plan written all over. Yes, to us just fans, they're just sitting there. It's frustrating. We want to see it open up.
Yeah,
we want to kill Kentucky. Yeah. We want to throw the ball,
Brock
especially
Bowers.
when we see what we can do. Yeah. I mean, it is. But when you look at it and you understand what was happening, that is 100% what was happening. And I'll be honest with you, and when you did try to throw the football, you should have hit Darnell Washington. Stetson missed him there. Terrible interception. And I'll be honest, the times I think that we did want to try to do a little bit, the limited amount of times that we did do it, I think you got to give Kentucky's secondary some props, Clark. I think they had some good coverage in the third level downfield, man. And Brad White's a good defense coordinator over there that they got. And you got to give their defense some props.
You also have to give Mother Nature some props.
Yes,
with the wind.
The wind.
I defended Stetson one too many times, and I think that irked Adam a little bit. It frustrated you during the game because you said that it shouldn't be the case.
That shouldn't be the case. Yeah.
Hey, you didn't actually say that, but that's kind of.
I was getting a little bitter. I was just like this.
I had to calm Adam down.
I was a little bit upset with it. I mean, just chucking the ball downfield like that.
It was bad.
I just thought that was a very dumb pass down the football field.
And the last thing I'll say about the offense, when you have look. Todd Monken knows infinitely more than I do about football. But when you have a 6'7", 290, something like that, 290-pound receiver
against a 5'11" cornerback on the island.
5'11" cornerback. I got my size.
Throw it up.
I don't care. Give me that matchup every day of the week.
Every day, Clark. Every day, especially when you see that the safety is cheating to the strong side and it's not going to be an option that's going to be over the top whatsoever.
Well, who cares?
The quarterback's on that.
Who cares?
All right.
Throw it to him anywhere.
I agree.
Covered that kid.
I agree, man. And then you go to Lad McConkey on the other side, and that pass was off.
Yeah, it was.
And it just wasn't working. But whatever. It's okay. Everybody has their off days, and it just really, I don't know. It was just weird game. It was a very weird game, but very vanilla, man. And it was bully ball 101. Kentucky knew what Georgia was going to do, and they really couldn't stop it enough to get to a point where they put themselves in good position to win the football game. I felt like, Clark, too. I mean, it just seemed never in doubt. Yeah, could have had some stuff happen and everything, but hey, nonetheless, it's a win. Get to Tech, baby. And the big thing is on the offense side of the football, Clark, no new injuries, man. Everybody seems like they're going to be healthy going into Georgia Tech one more week, and then we get in the postseason play and get through the SEC championship and get a few more weeks to recover and get excited. So that is the big thing and my biggest takeaway from the game at Kroger Field, Clark, is no injuries, man.
Yeah.
No new injuries. So I love it. And a win. That's it.
All right, Georgia's defense, other side of the football, not bad. Not a bad performance at all.
Not bad.
You held Kentucky to 6 points. Now,
right.
I think the score is a little deceiving. They had opportunities to score in the red zone. They didn't. We did hold Kentucky's offense to 89 yards rushing. And boy, they threw the ball a lot more than I expected them to. 206 yards through the air, Will Levis. We got a pick. Keely Ringo's interception was big.
Yes, sir.
Especially at that point in the game because they were threatening kind of in the red zone. They're getting closer, inching their way. And that kind of shifted the tide a little bit. Man, Jalen Carter. I love the kid. Listen, Jalen Carter may be my favorite player on this team, but man, just 2 big mistakes. And I really don't even know if he did block in the back. I think they reversed that out.
I can't remember what they did with it, but it seemed like I don't know. But that definitely was not a block.
It was not.
Back.
Yeah,
the hands to face was. Yes. That killed. There's a drive extender there. Shoot yourself in the foot. But hey, Keely Ringo, like you said, his interception was big after being picked on the first possession of the game. When you have him backed up deep on 3rd down and on an island right there that Barry and Brown. Will Levis, good ball to him. And then after that, you really didn't see any explosive pass plays until later on the 4th quarter, and they hit us deep again a few times. But nonetheless, a good performance by the defense, I thought, Clark. I mean, definitely gave up some stuff behind the 3rd level later in the game that you don't want to see. I understand it happens, but you do not want to see going forward. But, I mean, overall, man, you hold them to 6 points. You hold them to 6 points, second fewest points again. I'll say it again, that a Mark Stoops Kentucky team has scored at home in his tenure, which is in year 10. So that's good. That's good. I mean, you hate giving up a 99-yard touchdown drive, but that really was more of 2 explosive plays, I felt like. They got downfield, and, it's just one of them deals, man, where I think you're playing a good quarterback in Will Levis, and but you were able to limit them to just a couple, I think, explosive plays. I don't know. It's just weird, Carl. It's just really a weird game to sit here and talk about because I don't know.
I really thought.
I don't know. It's just weird.
I fully expected our front 7 to feast on this Kentucky offensive line.
I did too.
And it really didn't happen. Well, I mean, there were some times we got some pressure. Didn't really blitz that much, I don't think.
No. I think we're vanilla on the defensive side too, Carl. I mean Javon Bullard's a great player. Kamari last year got his head in there and just stuck his nose up into some plays and made some good tackles and stuff, man. Keely, you said the pick. It's weird to say about this game, man. And I think, golly, this team has been on such a big stretch these past 4 games, man. And then so hard to go undefeated in the SEC. So hard to win on the road in November in the SEC, man. And I think, and then consecutive weeks like that, they did it. And we should feel good about it. I mean, no, we can't sit here and say, oh, my God, they just played great. He played great. They didn't. But you know what, man? Georgia's offense and defense play complementary football.
They do.
And that's stuff you don't see a lot today in today's game, man. You see it just being more one-sided offense side. Right. Like Tennessee, they do not play complementary football. And other teams out there, I feel like. But Georgia's does, man. And I feel like both sides of the ball did what they needed to do to get a double-digit win against a respectable opponent in a tough place to play in a tough time of the year to play that football game in, Clark, and get out of there with the win, do what they have to do to go 8-0 in the SEC schedule for the 2nd year in a row, man. And I feel like we can't ask for any more than that, man. We cannot ask for any more than that. I thought we were going to come out there and win 41-10. I really did, but the offense game plan, the offense is the play calling, and the game speed went a whole lot quicker and different than I thought it would be. There wasn't as many possessions as I thought. It just stuff didn't happen like I thought. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they just did awful. It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, it's inexcusable to only win 16-6 against Kentucky. No, I'm not going to say that, but I'm just not going to say, oh, this was just Georgia's best effort. Everybody, but hey, did enough to win. That's all that matters at the end of the day, baby. Let's go beat Tech, and then let's roll. Let's roll.
Let's do it.
Let's roll.
All right, Georgia's special teams. Not much to say other than jackpot.
Jackpot, man.
He went 3 for 3.
Clutch.
Yeah, he did. 3 for 3 long of 37 without his, 9 points?
Yeah.
Do we win that game?
Without his 9 points?
No. Well, we win by 1.
Well, 7-6,
7-6. Can you imagine that score leaving Kroger Field? Oh my gosh. Well, I turned to you. I said, what if they score one more and it's 16 to, let's just say they missed or they made that 2-point
14. Yeah, you could lose by 50. Yeah,
imagine
it would have been wild, man. It was a very eerie, weird feeling in that stadium. It was just a very. It's been a long time since I've been to a game with that much of that kind of feel to it, you know. But great win, man. Good win to get out of there with a W, and every goal still just one week closer to accomplishing everything you want to, man. So that's all you can say about it. All right,
we're moving on. I mean, there's not much left to say about the special teams. So it brings us to clean, old-fashioned. Hey,
here we go,
this Saturday, 12 o'clock, ESPN. Woo! No night games this year, people.
Hey, that's
all right.
Hate
to break it to you.
That's all right. But hey, this particular week now, where Georgia's at, you don't want to have a night game.
That's true.
You want to see LSU playing at night and Texas A&M like they are doing, but you want this to be a noon kick. You want to just go ahead, get it done with, get your starters out in the middle of the third quarter, have them resting. Mm-hmm. No injuries, man. So, hey, you get them out of the game at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, don't you? Yeah. So something like that. And then after the game, you get the win. You can start prep with LSU, and you can host some recruits on campus for a big weekend, man. So that's good. It's really a good spot. I mean, the fans, of course, we wish there was a night game, but as far as the overall gamesmanship,
there you go.
Per se.
Yeah.
It is good for this to be a noon kickoff like it has traditionally been since, I think, 13.
Yeah.
13, I think, was a 3:30 game in Atlanta. And that's the last time it's been anything different than the noon slot.
Right. I mean, you think about it. Once again, we talked about this. We said this last year when Georgia was playing Alabama, but Kirby gets then the team, Kirby and company, I'll just say that.
Kirby and company.
They get about, 5 hours more prep than LSU does? I know that doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah,
but still, man. 5 extra hours of rest.
That's right.
Of studying film.
That's right.
Of game planning. It's big.
I like it.
I'll take that.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, we're going to focus on Georgia Tech this week. Mm-hmm. The two schools are separated, Adam, by 70 miles.
70 miles from Athens to Atlanta.
Yeah, just enough of a buffer to separate yourselves from the nerds.
There you go. That's right. Just enough of a buffer. There you go.
Yeah,
I like it. That's right.
This will make the 116th meeting between the two teams. Georgia is currently leading 69, 41, and 5.
Nice.
You Tech fans, you know math. Yep. You know that 69 is a bigger number than 41.
Yes, the alligator mouth is pointing towards the 69, Clark.
That's right. Greater than. And there's no equal to. There's no line underneath the alligator sign.
That's right.
Dadgummit. So
alligator mouth pointing towards Georgia, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And we're going to keep it that way for the rest of history.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's not even close. I mean, honestly, the 41, most of them came pre-World War II era, post a little bit, but definitely still, I would say during the Eisenhower tenure, Harry S. Truman to Eisenhower presidential tenure.
When I heard tenure, I thought coaching, I was thinking, was there Dwight D. Eisenhower as a Georgia Tech coach or something?
No, I was talking about the presidential tenure.
I see. Okay.
Just for historical purposes. You know, most of the wins, I feel like, during this rivalry was for the other side of it. But anywho.
What happened in the Donald Trump era of football?
Georgia smoked them, baby. Georgia smoked them.
What about the Barack Obama tenure?
There was a couple bad ones in that tenure. There was a couple bad ones in that tenure. Yeah, there was.
Well, the Joe Biden tenure's great so far. Yeah. I mean, well, let me specify this. The Georgia football is good in the Joe Biden tenure.
There we go. You know, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, there we go. There's our political.
Maybe Joe Biden is the difference in Georgia football. I'm just kidding. No. All right. Anyway, we're moving on. We're not going down that road. Okay. We have a 4-game win streak over the Nerds, and they will be referred to as the Nerds on this podcast.
Yes, sir.
They're probably making more money than us.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll gloat in our football victories. Kirby
going on.
It's 4-1.
Yeah, 16 was a fluke.
Oh my
First season was a fluke.
I about barfed.
Yep. That
was terrible. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a really, really bad football game. We didn't play in 2020. I don't know why this is a note on my notes, but we did.
Only play the SEC slate. That's right.
How dumb was that logic, though? That really does not make sense to me.
It really did.
We're going to go play in Missouri,
but you don't play a team 70 miles down the road. I agree. That was stupid. So glad we're away from that, man.
Yes, me too.
So glad we're away
for a lot of different reasons.
Yep.
Georgia opens as a 35-point favorite. That is 5 touchdowns.
Yes, sir. For all you math
nerds,
folks out there.
Wizards.
Yes, sir. 35 points, man. That's big. That's big. Shows really where each program is right now and their trajectory going forward, man, and their current state as well. So, man, that's tough. That's a tough line, though, Clark, with the kind of football that that Kirby's going to be playing. I wonder if Vegas is going to.
I really genuinely think the number's going to come down just a hair, maybe to about 32.
Yeah, I just
32.
I don't know. We'll see.
32 and a half. I'll go with that. That'll be the final number.
Okay.
Tech, Adam, listen to this. Georgia Tech would become bowl eligible with a win.
How about that, man? Brent Key really has done a good job.
He really
coming
has,
in as an interim for our friend Jeff Collins.
God rest his soul.
He's done. And Brent Key has got those guys bought in and has some upset wins, man. I feel like one last week. So good on him, I guess. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Jeff Sims, that was their starting quarterback for the longest time. I think he's been hurt. And last week they played a guy named Zach Gibson. He was a backup, and he led Tech to a victory over UNC.
Wow.
I think they scored 21 unanswered to beat number 13 North Carolina.
Wow.
I mean, that's not a bad win.
Hey, that isn't. I mean, that's kind of just surprising. I mean, Drake May's a good quarterback, man, and them to come back from 17 down. I mean, that's. I didn't watch any of that game, but I'm sure that really kind of gets some momentum going a little bit there in Atlanta. So that good for them.
Great job, Gene Chizik.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But, I mean, that is crazy losing that game to Georgia Tech. I mean, you talk about a choke job, man, being one-loss team heading into the already clinched spot, the ACC championship game, and then you lose to Georgia Tech.
And I know this sounds wild.
What the world, man?
Would you put in a one loss after Tennessee getting beaten and, there being some shakeup?
The conversation would have been there.
Right. They would have at least had
if they would have beat Clemson, I mean, the conversation would have been there. They would have been at least in the top 10 going to the Orange Bowl or something with I mean, they still can go to the Orange Bowl if they win the ACC championship, but still a respectable one-loss team, man, and stud freshman quarterback and have a lot of momentum going into the offseason. But golly, that's hard to overcome when you lose to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
This current Georgia Tech team. But
agreed. Hey, Adam, all right, this question just popped up in my mind.
All right.
You've been to a lot of Georgia Tech games.
Yes.
What would you say is your favorite memory?
Easy, without a doubt, 2009, Clark. They were a top 10 program there. In Atlanta, it was a night game. They were like ranked number 7, and Georgia wasn't even ranked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those bad years. 2009, 2010 were not good years in this millennium of Georgia football. 2 of the worst, I would say. And I remember that game really thinking, oh, man, this is going to be the first time we see Georgia lose to Tech in Atlanta because last time was 1999, and since then it hadn't happened either. So I was really kind of preparing myself to watch Georgia lose that football game, just kind of cap off just the season that was, man. And it was a pleasant surprise, Clark. Caleb King and Rashawn Ely just ran wild. That was we run this state game, won 31-24. Tech was driving there at the end, stopped them on a big 4th down play right there, and a game that Georgia really had no business winning as far as the rankings are concerned. Right. But it just showed where the program is that Georgia does own this rivalry, man. And that was my favorite Georgia Tech memory because you didn't see it coming. It broke the hearts of Tech fans being in the top 10 and a just terrible Georgia team going into Atlanta and win that football game, Clark. How about you?
Well, I haven't been to as many as you have, but I will say probably my favorite was 2013. We go on the road down, 20-0 going into halftime?
Yes, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. I remember that.
I will say it was bad. We came storming out of the half, scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley got the game-winning touchdown.
Went overtime. Overtime. Yeah, it did.
Oh, my gosh. That game was wild.
I just remember at halftime, like, oh, my God, we were losing 20-0.
To Tech.
Yes. I mean, and that was, I remember, though, winning that game, Clark, beating them in overtime, and then coming out of the game, you had your phone, and this is before you really could stream as far as the video, correct? Yeah. So you just would have to do, like, the play-by-play, like, little field thing. Yeah. And you were watching the graphic, the Alabama versus Auburn, the Iron Bowl, man, and you figured out that Alabama was lining up to kick the game-winning field goal, and then all of a sudden, like 2 seconds later, Auburn won, and you could not figure out what had happened. And that was a good
Auburn's
memory.
Going to win the football game.
That was a memory, man, because I remember that's where we were at when that happened, and just trying to figure out what had happened. What was neat. So that was a good memory too. That was a good memory too.
Right, quick. The most boring Tech game you've ever been to, whether it was
boring Tech game. I don't know, man. I mean, every one of them has been great after winning and beating them, man. Because, I mean, it's just been domination. The last 2 times we have been to Atlanta, which, of course, this is the first time Georgia, y'all should know, is playing Tech in Athens since 2018.
Sure.
That's amazing. 4 years later, we finally get them back between the hedges. But 19 was just domination. Last year was domination. 17 was a fun game. It was Paul Johnson. Kirby, I like how against the triple option, Clark, where he defended it, where he had those 2 inside linebackers kind of stacked right there. Instead of the traditional playing beside each other, stacked them. So that way, whichever side that the pitch man was heading towards and the quarterback that didn't play their assignments, just shut them down.
Oh, yeah.
Just shut them down, man. And that was fun. So what would say you're boring?
The most boring game of one of the most boring games, or forgettable, or maybe unsatisfying is the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
And we won, was 2015. We beat Tech 13-7. You remember that?
Yeah. That was Rick's last game.
Don't get me wrong.
Game.
Yes, it was. Don't get me wrong.
I do not remember anything of that game.
That's my point. That's my point. I mean,
okay.
I love beating Tech. I don't care where we play Tech. We could play them in Chile. Or Brazil,
wherever,
Antarctica. I don't care.
Right?
Yeah. But anyway, that 2015 win was boring.
It was boring.
I was just going to see if there was one you had to.
But I would say that one because I really don't remember it too much.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Let's look back to last week's game.
All right, give it to us. Oh, I mean, what a day in college football Saturday was, Clark. What a day it was, man.
A lot of games. A lot of close games, really.
Yes.
We'll start with this one. Illinois versus Michigan. Wow. Brett Bielema, Adam, got close to upsetting number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah, and then he called out. Did you see him calling out that it was rigged?
Yes.
That it's rigged.
Like, he genuinely felt that way.
And I was like, oh, my God, Bert. Bert Bielema was I mean that was very interesting. Did not see that one coming. But good on his Illini football team going and fighting, couldn't finish it out. Jim Harbaugh escapes in the big house, Clark. Don't you think that Michigan and maybe Ohio State looking forward to each other just a little bit, just a little bit, But I mean, hey, it's getting tough sledding, and you saw that across the country the whole day Saturday. So Michigan big last second field goal win, man. Blake Corum got banged up, Clark. Hopefully he'll be good to go against Ohio State. I would like for both teams to be healthy for that game and just see. That will be fun to watch in Columbus next Saturday. So, I mean, I thought it would definitely not be as close as this game was, but Michigan, good football teams find a way to win at the end, and that's why I guess they're in the top 4 right now for the moment. So.
Well, and this game wasn't on our slate, but man, Ohio State and Maryland, that went down to the wire.
Well, nobody saw that coming.
They really,
But Maryland's played good against Michigan and Ohio State this year. Mike Loxley and his fight Terrapins had some impressive shows against those 2 teams, man. But down the last second right there, Ohio State on the road as well. Just tough, man. I mean, any given Saturday, you just don't know. That's what the theme and the narrative was the whole week for all the teams in the top 5. Man.
Right.
That's what's crazy.
Exactly.
That's what you love about college football, and that's why we love it so much, is because it doesn't matter any part of the country, who anybody is playing, where at. This stuff can happen, man. And you saw that nobody was really just thrilled. I mean, everybody. Let me rephrase that. Everybody is thrilled to get out of play with a win, but I mean, I think everybody thought that all these games would be a whole lot different than what they were, what they indicate on the scoreboard. But that's why you play it. And it just shows how crazy this college football season has been and how crazy it will be going forward.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be some more shake-up,
it's going to be
insane,
man.
Yeah. TCU at Baylor, 29-28. TCU wins on a wild game-winning field goal.
Yes, sir.
If you didn't watch the ending of that, you need to go to YouTube right now and find the highlights of that game. How in the world do you run the ball with 0 timeouts with 15, maybe 20 seconds left in the game, and then you rush your field goal team out there, fire, go.
Yeah. I mean, something you practice every week. Clark.
Yes. And you go nail it.
Man. I mean, like you said, Clark, and old Sonny Dyke said in the post-game interview that they practice that every Thursday, Clark.
I don't believe
every Thursday's when he said, I bet they do it every Thursday. Clark, they walk through.
No, I'm sure they do that. I mean, I don't think he he planned it that way. Yeah, meant for that to happen.
And I don't know. I mean, Clark, you can make an argument. Is it better to give your kicker more time to think about it by setting them up? Or is it just that, hey, you've done it so much, just that, that I guess secondhand just type
instinctual.
Instinct that they have just to go out there and just nail it like that, and he did. But one would think, Clark, you would probably not use a running play right there, spike it or something, and give your field goal unit time to set up. But that's what I guess they were comfortable with. Rivalry game on the road in Waco, man. A series that's been real good since both these teams have been in the Big 12 now. And big win. I really thought Baylor would win that game. So it shows TCU's a battle-tested team, man. Played a lot of close games in the Big 12 and came back a lot in the Big 12. So we'll see what they do. They got Iowa State, Matt Campbell next week, man. A team that's fell off the map after being the darling of Big 12 football the past couple of years, and him being a guy that was on everybody's short list to replace some of these coaches, and he's stuck around in Iowa State, and they're 4-7 right now, Clark. Cool. So we'll see. Hey, do they make their season by upsetting TCU and ruining them or not? And then if Kansas State beats Kansas, it's going to be a rematch in Dallas of TCU Kansas State in the Big 12 championship, a game that Kansas State really blew in the regular season against TCU. So a couple tough games, really, man, especially coming off some emotional wins that TCU's had lately to end the slate for them to get to Selection Sunday to see if they are unscathed when they get there. But it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see. And it's going to be tough, man. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they keep proving me wrong every week. So we'll see. They will definitely be deserving of it if they could get it done, man. So that's going to be fun to watch this Horned Frogs team. Keep an eye on what happens over there in Dallas-Fort Worth the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for them, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'd like to see them in the playoff.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, this is a really weird question. How many purple teams have been in the playoff? LSU, Washington. Is that it?
That's all I can think of, Clark, man. That's a heck of a question. I haven't really given that thing much thought, that type of question. Listen, but, I mean, that was good rattling off Washington and LSU right off the bat. I do not think there is anybody else from my recollection.
I've been thinking about that for quite a while.
No, I can't think of anybody else.
I know that's weird. Well, I look at the rankings, how the selection show, and it's just like a red team, and then maybe an orange team, and then another red team.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following you. So you don't see more colors.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Because it gives, I don't like the red and the red clashing in the stadiums. I don't know.
So you want some more color.
I just want colors. I think that's cool. That is really weird.
I like it, though, Clark. I like it. Good thought. All
right. Here we go. This game, oh, boy. This was, I can't wait to talk about this. It's just glorious. Oh, man. And they had what's coming.
Yes.
They deserve every bit of
this is karma.
Tennessee, Rocky Flop at South Carolina. Shane Beamer.
And Spencer Rattler just proving that the critics are on, Clark. They're still terrible. They're still terrible.
63-38.
And it really speaks volumes about your program when you give up 63 points to Marcus Satterfield, Shane Beamer, Spencer Rattler led South Carolina offense, Clark. Weird things happen at Willie B at night. I still think that program is a mess. And I don't like Shane Beamer, and I don't like Spencer Rattler. But I liked them Saturday night, Clark. You know what it shows is defense wins championships, man. You can have these cute, gimmicky offenses, Clark, and try to go out there.
Defense? There was no defense in this game.
I'm saying, Clark, that overall, the spectrum that
in general,
you could have this showboat flashy offense and score 38 points, but if you ain't got no defense, they're going to allow 63 points.
What I'm trying to say. Oh, so you're not saying South Carolina played great defense. You're just saying Tennessee
I'm just saying that Tennessee refused to play any defense, man, and you'd say, hey, we're going to hang 30 up, but then you go give up 63.
Yeah.
But what happens too, man, is you're going to wear a freaking defense out, Clark.
Yeah.
By having them on the field, as I think they stayed on the field 49 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Are you?
I think it's close to that. I swear they were tired. They're wore out, man. Nobody's want to come play for that, man, because all you hear is Tennessee's offense, this, that, Tennessee's offense, man. And we talked about complimentary football earlier in the episode, Clark, with Georgia. There's no complimentary football that was played in that type of system, man, with the type of offense that Josh Heupel runs. And that's what happens, man, when you get to a point. Yeah. Something like that can happen to you, and it can happen in a hurry, and it can happen against a team that you least likely expect. So
a team that Georgia, let me point this out. A team that Georgia beat 48-7.
Yeah, man.
I heard all these people chirping before the game yesterday, before their game.
Yeah.
Tennessee fans were talking about Georgia not beating Kentucky by whatever they beat them by, something like 30, whatever, 8. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway. They got what was coming for them.
They did. So the dream of feeling like 1998 in Knoxville, Tennessee is officially over, Clark. They are down the dumpster. Probably Alabama's going to jump for the Sugar Bowl spot. So Citrus Bowl, Orlando, Florida, bucket.
Hey, at least they get to go to Disney, I guess.
That's right. They can go wherever, do whatever they want to do in Orlando. So there you go.
It's such a sweet victory for Carolina.
Yes, it is, Clark. Yes,
and you know, a lot of Tennessee fans were throwing some shade at Shane Beamer. Yeah. Talking about, making a big to-do about he's just a big goofball, which we kind of do the same thing. Yeah. But Shane Beamer has never scored 63 points on Georgia. And, I venture to say he never will.
No, I agree. I think that's a safe assumption. Oh,
boy. We have too much fun with this podcast.
Yeah, we do. I love it.
All right, another great game, USC at UCLA.
Dare I say, Clark, this was the best football game played in that venue since Georgia played Oklahoma on January 1st, 2018. Hey, Utah and Ohio State, that's right. That was the game last year in the Rose Bowl. That was a pretty good one. But, hey, I'm going to say that this was the best game played since Georgia and Oklahoma teed off that day.
The Trojans, Lincoln Riley.
Scored, I imagine.
You're right. Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, 48-45. They stay alive.
Hey, man, USC right in the thick of it. The bum, 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 bum.
I will say this. I want to hear that in the Peach Bowl.
I do too.
Could you imagine?
I want USC.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I want the brand that is Southern California, West Coast, historic, blue blood, Lincoln Riley, all just Mr. Hot Shot offense, everything. Caleb Williams, Mr. Heisman contender, Elite 11, just quarterback prospect, everything. All the glamour of Hollywood, all the glamour of Los Angeles, Clark. Everything that Georgia doesn't stand for, USC does, Clark. Yeah. USC does. And I want that to come to Atlanta, and I want to see what happens to them, man. The potential of that matchup excites me like none other, Clark. Yes. I love actually that you could get by. We're getting way ahead of ourselves, but that it could be either be USC, TCU, or Clemson against Georgia. If Georgia just takes care of business, and I love that. I love that idea, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So therefore, I am cheering for USC to continue to win out. I think who they got, Notre Dame is going to be a tough out, but they do got them in the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and then they're going to have to play a Pac-12 championship game against, I guess, Oregon. That'll be tough too, man. They got a tough sled in the next couple of weeks to get there, but we'll find out. But good win against their crosstown rival, UCLA, in the Rose Bowl last night against Chip Kelly, 48-45. Let's see if they keep that momentum going, Clark. See if they can be there with Georgia on Selection Sunday, baby.
Ought to be fun. Utah at Oregon, 20-17. Oregon stays alive. I mean, well, they don't. Their playoff chances are pretty much done for, I think.
Right.
But good win for Dan Lanning. I mean, really rebounded.
Yeah, that was a good win. That was a good win after a tough out last week.
We were watching this last night. We're recording this on Sunday. Last night, we were watching this in the cabin. It was me and Adam and our wives in the den area of the cabin.
Yeah.
And we're watching a little bit of this football game, and, I'm kind of analyzing what's going on. And then all of a sudden, I hear some snoring. I look over and Adam is just catching some Z's. Is that what it's saying?
I was knocked out, man. I was knocked out. I'm not going to lie. That recliner was comfortable, and it had been a long week.
It's okay.
I can tell you that. And a long drive back from Lexington. Yeah. And, so I was definitely enjoying the finer things in life with the gas laws going, log cabin, man, and watching football and capitalized on that and caught some Z's, man. So, absolutely. But, hey, good win for Dan Lanning. What he's doing year one in Oregon is unbelievable. Good job for him. Should be Pac-12 Coach of the Year. They'll probably give it to Lincoln Riley, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Kirby deserves Coach of the Year.
Dang right, man.
He does. Anyway, all right. This week's Pick'em. We'll just move on. This week's Pick'em, Egg Bowl. We're going to start with this one.
Ooh.
And Adam, this is being played on, Thanksgiving night. Good call. Yeah, Thursday night. By the way, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
You and yours.
Yous and yours.
Yeah.
All right.
The Egg Bowl is Mississippi State at Ole Miss, 7 o'clock ESPN.
I got a hypothesis.
Okay. A hypothesis or a theory?
A hypothesis.
We're going with the hypothesis, okay?
Okay.
Now, a hypothesis has to be tested, Adam. I guess a theory does too.
Well,
no, go with the hypothesis. I think that's right.
All right, maybe.
Right.
I think Clark, weigh this into your decision making on this game. Now, I have absolutely zero contacts in Opelika or Auburn, Alabama.
Okay.
But I think Clark. I think Lane Kiffin is going to sign the dotted line to be Auburn University's next head football coach. I think it is done. I think they have met. I think it was starting last week. Hence, Ole Miss not even showing up to Fayetteville, Arkansas to play Sam Pittman's Razorbacks last week. So, therefore, I think it will be announced shortly after the Egg Bowl, possibly a week from today, which is Sunday. It will be Sunday the 27th? Is that right? So,
I think, yeah.
And I'm going to call that Lane Kiffin will be announced Auburn University head coach then after the Egg Bowl. And therefore, Mississippi State goes to Oxford and beats Ole Miss.
Wow. Yeah,
that was a kind of a big out on the limb little thing there. I'm going to say it. Right. Put it out to the public airways, man. I don't know. I don't have any sources, but go ahead.
Well, my buddy, I don't know what his sources are. I mean,
you got some sources?
It might be Twitter.
You got some sources on the subject?
My one Auburn. My one Auburn buddy, he said that he sent a screenshot of this. It was like of a flight log, maybe. From Auburn,
I love a flight
Auburn,
track.
Alabama.
Man, I love flight track season.
Who knows what kind of just out in the middle of nowhere place in Mississippi. On the day that, it was supposedly going down, the deal was being done with Lane Kiffin at Auburn. And so people think because of that, Lane Kiffin came to Auburn and did, some sort of an interview.
Hey, man, I don't know. I mean, we don't know, but that's just my theory.
Okay.
Hypothesis, per se. So that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah. I'll take Mississippi State too, Adam.
Oh, good deal. I like it.
Actually, no. You know what? The way the Mississippi State faithful treated me, I'm going with Ole Miss. My cousin went to Ole Miss. Actually, two of them, right? Gaines and Asa both went to Ole Miss. You know what? I'm going to stick with Ole Miss. Because of them.
All right, go with them then, son.
I don't know. Maybe they just rally and
all right.
Figure it out.
Hey, man, it is in Oxford, so
that's true.
We will find out. Going to be a good game Thanksgiving night. Get your belly full and watch it.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be another fun one. Florida and Florida State Friday night, 7:30 ABC.
Nice.
Who you going with, Adam?
Florida State, big.
Will you do this?
Bum, 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 bum. Give me the nose, big. Mike Norvell, a lot of momentum. I think the University of Florida program is going to be an absolute shock after Clark Lee just dropped the hammer on them in Nashville, Tennessee last week, Clark.
Yeah. I'm with you, Adam. Give me the Noles.
Give me the Noles, man. I hope the Noles been like 49-3.
Yeah, this is one of those ACC teams that is trending upward, I think.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think the program's in decent hands, Clark.
Yeah, I
think they're in a decent spot. I mean, we're not going to say they're in an elite spot.
No.
Or really just
good.
Just all in the college football world by any means. But I think Norvell's got them to a better spot than where Willie Taggart had them at and the likes,
Right.
So, hey, man, I mean, let's get behind the Noles. I mean, everybody loves to see Florida get beat, so let's get behind the Noles on Friday night at 7:30 when you're getting ready for a full slate, on Saturday, and let's cheer on the Florida State Seminoles down in Tallahassee for that game. So
let's do it. Why not?
Why not? Do it.
All right, Saturday, the game. Michigan at Ohio State, 12 o'clock, Fox.
Yeah, man.
I hate that all these games are being played at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of big noon games, man. This game, Michigan in the snow in the big house last year put it on Ohio State, Clark, to win that division, then go on to win the Big Ten, therefore go in the college football playoff and get smacked by Georgia in the Orange Bowl. This year, Clark, in Columbus, man, 2 versus 3 matchup. They had a big one in 2006 and 1 versus 2, and I think that was in Columbus too. I think. No? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. And Ohio State won that football game. This one, of course, is highly anticipated as well. Everything on the line. Division championship on the line. Of course, Big Ten championship playoff berth. Number 2 seed in the college football playoff on the line, potentially. So big game. I know fan base, one of the best rivalries in college football. 2 historic programs. Everybody's fired up. I'm going to go with the home team in Columbus. Give me Ohio State, Clark, by about 10.
Wow.
What about you?
I was going with Ohio State by about 3. I think it's going to be a very close game. I really do.
It will. It's going to be very interesting to see. I'm going to just give Ohio State home field advantage, man.
Sure, me too.
But we'll see. And then I think a lot will indicate to me if is Blake Corum going to be healthy.
Yeah.
And, is he going to be able to run the football? Is Michigan going to be able to control the game, man, win both sides of the line of scrimmage? That's going to be important. If they could do like they did last year and run the ball on them, then, hey, Michigan's going to beat them. But I think it'll be Ohio State, Clark.
South Carolina at Clemson, 12 o'clock, ABC.
This game just got a lot more interesting.
It did. It sure did. Hey.
How you going? Do it.
Did I? No. Here's what I'm going to do a little reverse psychology here, people.
Right.
Last week, I picked Tennessee to win big.
Okay.
And Carolina beat them.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Clemson big. But I don't really believe that.
I don't think it's going to be big, Clark.
No.
But I'm going to go with Clemson as well.
Okay.
In the Valley.
Once again, a little reverse psychology.
In the Valley, see if DJ Uyunglele can put up a big game before they go to Charlotte for the ACC Championship and trying to slide in that 4 seed in the college football playoff. We will have some eyes on that game at Sanford Stadium while we're watching the Georgia Tech game, Clark. It'll be fun to see what happens, man. All of a sudden got a lot more interesting. I know the faithful in Columbia, South Carolina are believing that this is the year they get over the Clemson monkey for the first time in a long time, Clark. So give me Clemson still, though, but it's going to be very interesting.
Adam, if this game were not at 12 o'clock, let's assume this were at 7:30, 8, we would go.
Probably.
And wear white shirts and maybe cheer for Carolina.
Be there to observe.
Maybe just be there to observe. I don't know.
That would be fun. That would be a good time. That would be a good time. But
can't do that this year. Maybe in the future we'll do that.
Maybe so, Clark. But it's gonna be a fun game, man. Gonna be a lot of just good football on. Mm-hmm. All right, what's
this game coming up is a fun one. Auburn at Alabama, Iron Bowl, 3:30 CBS, obviously.
Yep, that it is. This
game is, I don't know.
Alabama's going to win it. Alabama is going to win by the tune of 34-0.
Oh, you think they'll shut them out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. At home, Auburn, they're going to shut them out. 34-0. Or maybe 34-3, but nothing, I think.
This game just isn't really exciting this year for me.
No, it's not.
It doesn't have the same kind of implications. If this were in Auburn, it might get a little interesting. But no, this is not going to be close, I don't think. Give me Alabama. About the same score. 34-7.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Time.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. LSU at Texas A&M, 7 o'clock, ESPN.
Is Jimbo going to have one last stand for the season, Clark, with a 4-7 fighting Texas Aggies, baby? Beat UMass 20-3.
Wow.
Have not scored over 30 points in the game since before October 2021, Clark.
What?
So in over a year, they have not scored over 30 points in the game. That is a fact for the offensive quarterback whisperer guru, Mr. Jimbo Fisher. Clark, LSU, are they looking ahead to the Dawgs in Atlanta and they're going to College Station on a Saturday night? What is going to happen? What say you?
It'd be fun to see A&M beat LSU.
Oh,
I don't think it'll happen. There's no way.
Things have happened.
A&M is garbage.
Yeah, they've checked out.
They are awful.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt has a better record.
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
Yeah.
Give me LSU.
Give me LSU
14.
as well, Clark. I don't think it'll be just beat down, but they are going to beat them because Texas A&M cannot move the football forward. and score points.
Do they move it backward?
They just cannot get across the goal line, Clark. Haven't been able to in over a year. It is a train wreck. I think that if this gets ugly enough, we're going to get to the point where the people and the Texas oil people are just going to come up with $85 million somewhere, get them down the road, and Jimbo will be the head coach at West Virginia and Morgantown next year. That's my call right now.
They may start the A&M faithful may get on the streets and start selling some Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes, for a fundraiser.
Yes. Really?
Yes. Hey, I think it all. Oh no, I'm not even going to try that.
Math. Maybe. Hey,
I wasn't even going to try that math. I was trying to figure out how many fans it needed to take to donate $100 to get $85 million.
Hey, wait, we could do this. We could.
That's some tough math.
This is why
my wife's looking at me like rolling her eyes at me right now. But that's tough.
85 million divided by 100. You need 850,000 fans.
Just 850,000 loyal Texas fighting Aggies. Just give a $100 bill, man. You get them out of College Station.
I don't know if you could put two fan bases together and have 850,000. Golly. Oh, my gosh. All right.
Oh, boy.
This game is going to be fun, too, y'all. Tennessee at Vanderbilt.
Ooh, nightcap.
7:30 SEC Network, yes.
Ooh, this game got really interesting in the past week or two.
Yeah.
Clark.
Oh, my gosh.
Clark.
Are you going to do it, Adam?
I am going to do it. I am going to do it. Hey, look, man. The fighting Clark Lees are jacked. Done won 2 straight SEC games for the first time since 2018, Clark.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if they beat Tennessee, do you know what happens? They get bowl eligible. They get bowl eligible.
Ooh.
Do you think Tennessee is fired up about playing football right now?
No.
Hendon Hooker, I hate it, man. In all seriousness, hate that he tore his ACL. I always hate seeing a kid hurt, but he will not be the quarterback at Tennessee. Joe Milton will be. He's got a cannon, but nobody knows where it's going. Tennessee's defense is abysmal, led by quarterbacks coach Willie Martinez.
Georgia fans know him also.
Yes. But I might run the football on Clark. Vanderbilt might put up some points, man. Give me the Commodores. I cannot believe I said that, but I love it. Give me the Doors, baby. Give me the Doors
3 weeks
to win
ago,
and to storm the field. It's just going to be pandemonium at Nashville.
3 weeks ago, Adam, if I said there could be a chance, just even a chance, that Vanderbilt would somehow upset Tennessee.
But the belief is there, Clark. I wouldn't have known, but the belief is there in Nashville, man. They are juiced.
Adam,
Clark Lee has got look, Vandy has brought in one of their own. Not somebody's going to use the job as a stepping stone, man.
That's
somebody
true.
who believes, bleeds gold and black, baby. And they have won 2 straight SEC games, Clark, against Kentucky and Florida. And Tennessee is just battered. They just went down to Columbia and just got smoked. They don't want any part of it, man. No pride, man. No pride. Vanderbilt faithful is going to show up, and Tennessee was going to checkerboard.
I was about to say, are we still doing that?
I don't know if they're still doing that or not. We'll have to get confirmation on that. Give me the Doors.
Adam, you got me juiced.
Are you going to go with the Doors too?
You know what? My name is Clark. Vanderbilt's name is Clark. I'm going with the fighting Clark Lees. Give me Vanderbilt.
All right, I love
that. 2 points.
Okay, give them 2 points. I love it. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch. Everybody get jacked.
Here's the sad part. I don't even know one player.
Mike Wright.
Other than Mike Wright and A.J. Swan. That's
the
it.
Shepherd kid.
Okay.
The wide receiver.
Yeah.
Shepherd kid.
Well, they're going to have to do a lot of scoring.
Yes, they will. They will. But
I believe.
Exciting.
Anchor down.
Excited. Anchor down, baby. Anchor down.
Hunker down and anchor down Saturday. All right. Last game on the slate. Notre Dame at USC, 7:30 ABC. Wow.
Notre Dame USC. Traditional. Everybody, the media loves this game, Clark. The media loves these teams, man. Overjuiced teams, I feel like. Always. Has been since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Give me the Southern California Trojans, Clark, winning it close. If this game was in South Mid Indiana, I would be pulling for the Fighting Irish, would be going with the Fighting Irish Notre Dame. They're playing a whole lot better football in the back half of the season. Marcus Freeman has them playing than they were at the start of the season. I still think USC, man, playing at home, coming off a big win last week, knowing what's in front of them, what they could do. USC wins a close one, Clark, and I mean a close one. They will either win a close one or they will get absolutely smacked.
Okay.
I know that makes no sense, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Listen, Marcus Freeman is going to come in. They've been playing some good football, Adam.
Good call, Clark.
I haven't watched a ton of these two teams, but from what I've seen, just from the eye test, if you will, give me Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
It's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close. But, I mean, USC, man, I don't know. In close games, they just keep games close for the other team. They really do.
They play down to their competition or they're up to their competition, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to go. All right. Fair enough.
I kind of want to see USC in the playoff, but I don't know.
I can respect that decision. Give me the Trojans,
got to win this
Carl.
one.
Give me the Trojans.
I hear you.
All right.
Moving on to the most important game, Georgia versus Georgia Tech.
High noon, baby.
Yes, 12 o'clock, ESPN.
High noon.
Yes, sir. Adam, we're going to wrap it up here.
Give it to
I'm going to give you a score prediction. You give me yours. Here we go. Dawgs, 85-3.
85-3, Corey.
I wish. Nah, I'm just kidding. Give me 38-3 with Cash Jones. Listen to this. I don't know why. I just feel this in my gut.
All right.
Cash Jones, he's like our 5th string running back. He's going to get the final touchdown of the game.
I love it, man. I love it. Just really put the exclamation point on it.
12-yard toss sweep to the right.
Put the exclamation point on it, man. Yes. And get fired up.
38-3 Dawgs. Undefeated.
Boom, baby. Clark, I cannot believe we are already to the end of the regular season, man. It felt like we were doing the Oregon show to get fired up, to go to Mercedes-Benz, open up with them. Yesterday, when I say this has been the quickest football season of my life. I hate it, man. It always makes me sad this time of year when we get to this point that the regular season is done. But, hey, now the era of Georgia football we are now, we have more exciting things to look forward to. That's the postseason. That's winning more championships. That is where we're at Georgia. That is the standard at Georgia when fans have already checked out at this point of the year, Clark. Yeah. Already talking about the potential next year, right? They're talking about a little bowl trip to just middle of Louisiana or Florida or Central Florida or somewhere that has no implications. You're just thinking about what freshmen are going to get more reps because they get an extra few practices of bowl prep. That's where most teams are these days. No, Georgia's standard right now going into the last week of the season is you're always in playoff contention now in the Kirby Smart area. Isn't that right, Clark?
That's it.
Now you're defending champions. Now you're the #1 team in the nation. Now you're going for one more win to be 12-0, Clark. Like you said, for the second straight year, already punched your ticket to Atlanta, man. The focus is there. It's time, baby. Just one inferior opponent away till getting that postseason game, Clark. Georgia's going to win this football game. Big Clark, 34-7. Hey, very vanilla offense. They're going to run the ball. They will impose their will against Georgia Tech in the second half. Starters will be out of the game. We're already going to be talking about what's going to be happening against LSU the next week. And it's going to be time to begin the national championship run defense here, Clark.
I love it.
It is going to get very fired up in the last seconds of that Georgia Tech game. Another 12-0 season, man. Another 12-0 season. Y'all enjoy time with family, friends, and loved ones. It is the most exciting time of the year, and Georgia football is still at the king of the mountaintop, baby. Yes. And it's time to let it rip. Go Dawgs,
Go
baby.
Dawgs.